Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Good old lady. Uncle Wolf here, surround me. So I've been kind of busy. I went and just bought a bunch of materials. We're going to be doing a XP farm thing. It's being done off camera, but right now, for level 44, all I'm going to do is when I go back to my base at some point, I'm going to craft a metric ton of conductive bread. Nope, they're like 1 XP.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please.
Gain a decent amount of XP really quickly. Wait a minute, I have an XP point? Oh, heck yeah, we have a point. 15%. Strength of the deep freeze, infernals. I want to click it because I'm scared of what it'll do. Skip commands, technology. Outpost management will need to be done eventually. Negotiation. Access to bribery. Speech tax. Fast. Apology. Strength. Oh, that's useless for me. 5 times less and 10 sell for 10 times more. Ooh, that might be extremely powerful. Energy weapon facilitation. Environmental fishing. Let's just upgrade what we have. Let's focus on what we have versus what we want. This way I can.
I am thankful these rides are quick. I do not like being in small and close spaces. Please stop.
Okay. That's a 4. We're just stealing all the money. Don't mind me, just casually robbing the bank. What's your name? Robs? What's your last name? Da Bang? Actually, what's your first name? Robin? Last name? Da Bang? So dumb in it. But it's like entirely something I'd expect people to actually say and do. Like, I can actually see someone trying that. Which is the worst part. Is it? Actually, no, I think it's actually been done before. Like, someone's actually went and said that to a bank teller when they were actually robbing the place. Now, we made a couple grand right there. Woo! Rock paper, scissors, woo! And let's get the Rakghoul quest line continuing, because this is actually something new to me. Like, for me, this is new. At this point forwards, I've not actually done this. There's a Terramorph quest line, but I've only done it up to this point, like where you get this particular quest to start thing.
I'm so excited to see Tony after work.
If we can avoid entering that building, I would prefer it. Let us just say I am allergic to bureaucracy.
Over here.
Before I do anything, let's go and heal up. First of all, experience. Get more experience. We need more experience capabilities. Off one of those. All that good. Might as well heal.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians.
Oh.
Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
See, that's new to me. I didn't know that.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians.
Oh, no.
And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
Wow, I thought my family was...
My areas of expertise are pretty specific, but messed up families are up there. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise. Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions. That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of Guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Alright, this is gonna be one hell of a spice check.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Imperial Fleet.
Okay, so I'm going to be trying to pop a save right here. We're gonna and then we're going to start getting all of our stuff for persuasion up and running. Don't know how much of it stacks, but we will try. That's persuasion. That's persuasion. Oh, I should have the wine cube on me. Fuck one of those. It's been a little bit. Okay, let's go.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Stormtrooper clone armor.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
We're still trying to figure out what we're facing. We can't make data. We need the archival data to find a way to stop a possible Rakghoul apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000?
Oh, shoot, she's right next.
Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result.
Okay.
But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Oh, spicy. I said it could happen elsewhere. We need to grant the request. If the fear is the data being weaponized, the Rakghoul program failed, the data is not dangerous.
You are correct, but it must be considered that with the data in hand, someone else could succeed where that program failed.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent...
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
Yes.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, Order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself.
Good.
Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got.
I am ready.
You too. We can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
Yes,
We're on it,
Governor.
Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Yes?
Straight from the nav station. Let's go. Bye.
You! The EM rifle! Service! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
That's it! Now hit him with everything you've got!
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. Let's do it.
That's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Okay, so it sounds like I need to bait the citizens away from the Rakghoul. This is gonna be a bad day.
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's
An
move!
evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
Ooh, that
Shoot it! Shoot it! You might back up! Don't just stand there! Good!
You handled yourself well back there.
One fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Well, I understand, Sergeant Yumi. It's gonna be fine. My team will handle it. of a win. Food and drinks dropped to 11 joules. Okay, we're close. We're gonna hold off on these. Happy about Mars. I swear to God, I saw two markers over here. That's a freeze up. Actually, this could still become active.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place.
You all held the line. You're the heroes here, not us.
Certainly doesn't feel like it. I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Oh, they locked these doors. Oh, these doors locked down. Okay. When that alarm's going, there should be
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
I told you I could have picked those locks out here without any issue, and I just waited a little bit longer.
You're not the doctor. In the middle of something here.
That weapon. We have better armor than the entirety of the UC military. Hop, skip, and a jump away. I wonder what they would have. I wonder what it would look like if we were on Londinium.
Those people are getting treated now. Don't know what would have happened if you hadn't shown up when you did.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
Yes,
Captain?
Governor.
Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs,
Rakghouls.
well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
I had some ideas on that front, Captain, but we'll get to that. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent.
Make me governor.
But as
or
you've
an
both
admiral.
made clear, for such an investigation to succeed, first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
I can't be your representative. I'm just some Imperial fleet nobody. Me? Why me? Why not send a diplomat? Someone trained for this sort of thing. Tell me what I'm getting first and I'll consider it. I'm just, yeah.
We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather atypical themselves. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. Get you access to those credits at real estate you're after.
Well played,
So,
Governor.
will you help us?
Hello.
It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door.
Very well.
I'm glad to hear it.
That's your man.
Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Yes, Governor.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that day.
8K credits. Office of Interstellar Affairs. Aw, it counts as stealing. Darn it.
Just seeing these orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
You have an issue with my position, Deputy.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs.
Here.
I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude.
I'm sure.
I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
They're the repositories for all the band data from the Clone Wars.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players.
Yep.
Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Va'ruun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Va'ruun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
You'd be clamoring to help after the spaceport attack.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here.
Damn.
Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Va'ruun?
Rather deal with the Sith first.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Va'ruun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Va'ruun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
That worked so much better if they actually got her to say Sith. Because that,
It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
Okay.
The Va'ruun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador. The embassy is still legally House Va'ruun sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out.
Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
It would at least be a speedier negotiation. But I, of course, hope the ambassador is alive and well.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Oh, no.
Ah, the good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
It sounds as though I will enjoy this.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Alright, back to it. Alright, folks, I'm sorry. I caught out because I went to go eat some dinner.
Never underestimate the universe's ability to surprise. That's why we have Plan B. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the Ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you. Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the Ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts. All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Yeah, we're gonna do Miss Radcliffe here first.
Pardon?
Yeah, pardon indeed, sir.
Captain, can I help you?
Negative.
This space is a memorial to those lost during the Colony War. Your consideration is requested.
Wish that bartender at the viewport would stop complaining to security. I don't know what she lost, but she won't get it back.
Yes. They build a monument to the people they lost, but not the people they killed. I cannot help but notice that the Colony War Memorial is in direct line of sight of this embassy. I suspect that was very much intentional.
Yeah, that seems like a very much an Empire kind of move.
You are a visitor? You can go on through.
Oh my god. My dude, your outfit makes you almost nigh on invisible in that light.
I wonder how many times one side or the other has threatened to close this embassy down over the years.
Terramorphs? As in more than one? All that security and they still can't...
I think it's been more than 15 minutes. Holy crud, I got a lot. don't know if it's, I think it's 10 in-game damage. Plus, it gives me a boost to persuasion, so... Suppose it can't hurt.
Protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
This building.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
So in here, we're the law.
Captain C. This is Clone Commander CC 1944, Cerberus, Imperial Fleet. You and I need to talk, Ambassador.
Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. Excuse me. A less level-headed person might think that was a threat, Captain.
We are merely stating the obvious. If you are threatened by that, perhaps you should do something about it. Like, help us.
And just give the UC free run of the archives? I may as well resign right now. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance, one, to convince me. Understood. I'm listening. You know that for sure. That is interesting. The cost of being wrong is a high one. Londinian. They had to abandon the planet. But that couldn't happen again. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions.
Oh boy.
Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it.
Okay.
You go in once. You get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement? Excellent. Follow me.
Well, that was quick, simple, and painless. Persuasion for the win, folks. I can take the plan, but that's about it.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. Two unlikely allies, I guess.
I want that experimental device. Oh, that's the wrong way. From through space combat. Get those bitches back, damn it. Okay, she's up here now. Only I actually know how to repair this.
I suppose that is ours now.
Yes.
Eh?
Yes, it is. Oh boy. Okay. 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 Let's try this from scratch. that would work there. How would I... Nope. Okay, so... This layer I did correctly. Or... Okay, there we go. Bob is our uncle. I'm only really doing this because I want the experience points, to be quite honest with you. So I will see you all in a little bit after I've lockpicked everything. Oh, actually, we're at 6. We're almost at 6, a whole hour. So you know what? Let me just, they kind of just watch me for a few more minutes, I suppose. Want to watch me. Otherwise, please make sure you like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I will see you next time. We'll center it all out. Let's do this and something else. This. Aha!
sorry, but I need sign-off from the Interstellar Affairs office before I can set foot in there.
You gotta be kidding me. It's plumbing, not a peace treaty. It could cause an incident. It would mean my job, sir. Fine. I'll begin the process. Wouldn't want to withhold a chance for more red tape from the great UC.
Ha! A chance to withhold red tape from the great empire.
Yes, exactly. It's like
when someone insults you.
Let's go talk to what's-her-face.
That they have not demolished the structure, even if diplomacy has ended for now. It may not be.
Alright, folks, so actually what's going to happen here is I'm not going to put this on right now. I'm going to do this next episode. So please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that lovely notification bell. And I'll see you next time. I don't know how.